Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We're gonna be doing the parties over squad pack. We're gonna be doing some paint work on these guys today, um, and we're gonna have some fun. I did a little prep already. I did these guys in. I'm gonna show you some of the paints I used to start because I wanted these to be dry before I went a little bit farther in. But I used some contrast paints, and I used this. This is a newer contrast paint that I used for the ARC Troopers. I'm sorry, ARF Troopers that come with Mace Windu. And these are from Star Wars Shatterpoint. I want to thank Atomic Mass Games for sending out a bunch of the new recent expansions. They sent out quite a few of them for review. All stuff that I have already purchased myself, and so I'm making extra content using them. And I figured, let's go ahead and do a painting stream. It's always nice to get supported, and AMG supporting the channel with extra product is always cool. And so it allows me to kind of do some weird paint schemes because I've got another one that I can paint up more canonically if I decide I want to do that, which is cool. It's nice having those options. Some people are a little bit more into the painting side, and some people are more into the gameplay side. And I saw, gosh, in the Facebook group, someone had actually purchased like 3 core sets because they wanted to just paint them all up differently and do all that fun stuff. And you know what? That's kind of cool. I am having the hardest time getting my paint out of my little dropper bottles right now, and I usually use a little. So if you guys are using, I'm gonna put some black in underneath these guys and kind of fill them out a little bit. But I stick a little thumbtack in there. Usually fixes it right up. If it doesn't, and sometimes I have to take that off. What is going? There we go. There we go. I got it. All right, and so this is just a straight black, and I'm not going to do too much more with that. I just want to have a little bit of that. I'm putting stuff in my palette. By the way, my palette is filthy. I'm going to be probably doing a palette peel one of these days. I got to peel all of that stuff off. Now, this guy is, this is Commander Pons, and he is, I did him, he's not in just black, all right? To just get kind of closer, he is a very, very light black. What's going on, Hal? Yeah, what's going on, everybody that's watching? We're just figured I'd do a little paint stream. I was going to come out here and kind of show you guys some of the stuff that I've been doing. I'm doing these guys a little differently too, which is, it can be fun. But I used contrast black Templar for this, and this is going to be if you wanted to try and do this with clones, this is a pretty dark contrast paint. I thinned it out a lot. I did like maybe 2 parts water to 1 part contrast paint, and then I got it this way. This way, I have a lot more, a lot more contrast between the raised areas and the low areas. And I'm going to be doing some different stuff with this guy. I'm going to be giving him some red, and then maybe some darker black in places too. But I want him to be able to work with Vader. I want to have that full Inquisitor build. And he's the key to that. So since he's going to work with Vader, and by the way, I've been working with the Vader from the You Cannot Run dual pack. He is not done yet, but I used a lot of Black Templar with him, some combinations of Black Templar and then some blacks and grays in there. He's got a long ways to go, but one of the cool things is you can see why am I using this? You can see the contrast between some of the parts that were just Black Templar and kind of lighter, where it's more gray like fabric, and some of the darker gray plates. Like, why am I keep pointing to his crotch? I'm like, Vader's crotch. Anyway, it doesn't show up as brilliantly as I would always like. But we're gonna have fun. We got Mace Windu here. I spilt a little bit accidentally on him right there of the of some of a brown that I was working with, and I'm like, well, that's okay. That part's gonna be kind of tan anyway. So yeah, so that's basically everything. We've got it all going right now. I'm gonna thin these paints out real nice and using a real fine brush. And basically, I just want to kind of get started in here, hitting some of these darker areas. I decided I wanted to go with yellow armor for these guys. The ARF troopers are weird, they're not, to me, they're less iconic, so I figured I could take some liberties with them. and have some fun with the ARF troopers. And let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Boop boop. All right. I think I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. It's kind of in my way and not a super comfortable way. So I'm going to try to do that here shortly. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. Yeah, I think that's going to look really good when it gets done. Or I might make a little mistake and get some black over the yellow. And then if I do that, it's ruined permanently. And I have to start all over again. Oh, that's what makes this a little bit on the more stressful side. Okay, let's see. Nope, nope, I gotta adjust a little bit more. Okay, all right. Okay, I think we're starting to get there. Okay. There we go. I'm trying to just be super precise with this. I'm using one of my finer brushes. And if I screw up, I'm not going to worry about it. You know, it's okay. I'll probably be okay. Because there's probably some ways to fix it. Like I could do like a stripe on the armor, because a lot of clones have patterns over the white parts of the plastoid armor. So I could always put some kind of pattern over the yellow, depending on how I mess it up, you know. Or maybe I'll just get lucky and I won't mess it up. But that's okay, even if I do. Yellow and black is a cool, like a bumblebee kind of color scheme, right? So we could really do a lot of cool stuff in here. I tend to also jump around from piece to piece. Oh, like see right there, I just got that part I shouldn't have. So I'm just gonna go up a little higher right there and blend it in. This way it won't be as significant. There we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. This is working. This is working. A lot of little places I got to get. There's so many very, very narrow bits on clone armor to get into. Hopefully you guys are having a nice day today. Let me know in chat what you guys are doing. Any fun weekend plans? Any Labor Day plans? Anybody doing any grilling? I do have to get the fingers, don't I? I believe the fingers are totally black. They got a little more water on the brush here for that. So there we go. Boop. Boop. And boop right there. There we go. That's the ticket. All right. But yes, hello to everybody watching. We are doing this live hangout, doing some painting some Shatterpoint today. Painting some of these ARF troopers that came with the Mace Windu the Mace Windu The Party's Over pack, the Darth Vader You Cannot Run pack I was showing off just a moment ago also. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, I see I did the knees or the legs first, and I probably should have started with the arms. It's probably a smarter idea to do a whole limb. Get the whole thing done first. Oh boy, it's tricky to get in there. It's like almost like I should have just washed it. But the thing is, I'm afraid if I put like Nuln Oil over yellow, it's gonna totally ruin the yellow effect, right? That is my fear. So that's why I'm trying to do this one the hard way. And I might be wrong. Maybe this is the wrong way to go. But I'm trying so hard to get in there. Oh, did it! Oh, yes, yes, got it. Oh, that was so scary. Oh, got it. Without getting, all right, without getting any smudgy smutches. No smutch. There's yeah. Oh, wait, no. There's a little smushy smutch right there. It's okay. I might be able to cover that up with regular yellow because I want to go back and edge highlight a little bit. So there might be a little bit of forgiveness with some of this. Now, one of the other things that you can do is if you do screw up, if you're really, really quick, you get like another clean brush with just water on it, and you can come back and like try and do that. But that's with more forgiving colors. I don't see that actually working for black on yellow because it'll probably run the risk of just smearing the black even more. I'd rather, if I make a mistake, I'd rather just keep it as contained as possible and let it dry and then try and cover it up. It's hard to cover up black though. All right, all right. This is gonna look cool, man. Let me guys know your thoughts on yellow and black, like the Killer Bees, right? Is it? It's like a used to be an old wrestling tag team. Yeah, no, that's pretty slick. Yellow's hard to do. I used to do Averland Sunset as a base and then try to do like a flash glitz yellow over top, but yellow's still always been a very challenging color to do. I think for the rest of this stuff, I might, for those really, really small bits, I might come back with, a wash, or just might thin it out. I could probably use the same paste. I probably don't have to actually use Nuln Oil. I can probably just use mostly all water and just a hint of paint. Or just go in there like that. Really makes the yellow pop a little bit more though, doesn't it? That's pretty cool, you know, compared to like this guy. It's just all yellow. Ooh-wee. Kind of digging it, baby. Kind of digging it. All right, this is a lot of water in this one. Let's see. Get it in there just right. Getting it in there just right. Ooh! I'm saying a lot of oohs and ahs because I'm like really scared that I'm going to mess this up. So I'm super happy. My way of, you know, rewarding myself with my own applause from myself. But sooner or later, I'm gonna have a big oops. Like one of the kids will come bust out into here and be like, "Daddy, Daddy," and I'll go, you know, because I'm a klutz. That's pretty slick. That's cool. That's cool. I might have to go up in here and stuff too, but I don't know if I want to do that just yet. Let's go down here. Get that. Awesome. Been playing Baldur's Gate a lot. Anybody, any PC gamers around here? Been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate lately. Making a lot of mistakes on my campaign. Having a good time. I don't know if you guys have ever played any video game RPGs or whatever, but like this is one of those games where I tried when I created. I'm like, all right, for my first playthrough, I'm gonna play a good character. I'm gonna be, you know, a good alignment, and I'm gonna make good choices, positive choices. I'm gonna be a paragon of goodness. And I accidentally made a bad choice. Then another one, and didn't realize the consequences of some of my choices, and they turned out to be bad. And I'm like, oh, now I guess I'm playing a bad playthrough. But in the course of the bad playthrough, I was like, I don't want to commit to the full evil playthrough at this time. So I'm going to, you know, make some of these choices. So basically I have this kind of in-between sort of playthrough where I'm making a lot of evil choices, but not all evil choices. It's weird because like now I'm like, I want to go back through and play again as a good character, but then I also want to go back and play as as like a chaotic evil character too. So we'll see how that all works. Okay. So I think my legs are just about good. Oh, I got to get underneath the knee pad here. Oh my gosh, this is looking cool. What do you guys think? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you like the color scheme, or if you're, or just give me a thumbs up since I haven't screwed this up yet, and I'm so scared that it's going to be a disaster by the time I'm done. I need your moral support. I need some encouragement. Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. Let me know what kind of games you guys are playing. I'm playing some Armada tomorrow. I know we got some subscribers who are definitely here for the Armada content. I do a lot of it. Definitely one of my favorite games of all time. Oh man, I'm digging the legs now. That's looking good. Thanks for the thumbs up, Sveltes89. Appreciate that. Appreciate the feedback. Got one more arm to do, and then I got to figure out how I'm going to do this face. The face is going to be challenging. All right, let's go around. Oh, I got to get the neck area too, don't I? All right, a little more paint on the brush. Normally I use a wet palette, but lately I've just been using the dry palette for convenience sake. I think a wet palette would be more convenient, but then I leave it sit there when I'm done painting, and I come back and I'm like, oh, all that other paint is all dried to it now. It's been a month since I've painted, and I got to clean out the wet palette, and I'm like, I'll just use the dry palette today. But if I have more of an intense painting schedule for like a week, I'll definitely use the wet palette, because I don't think it'll last me like a week. Or if I'm going to be painting off and on throughout a day, you know, don't want that paint to dry up on me. Wet palette is the way to go. All right. It's doing good. These are like, oh, it's looking more like golden than more like bees, right? Like I could do some stripes or something like that, but I think I'm just going to leave them like golden, like gold paladin armor or something like that. We'll see. All right. I used like a purple contrast paint for the weapon, which I will probably go back and redo over the weapon. I was sometimes playing around. That's one of the interesting things with contrast paints is like they're really cool, but I also hate them. Well, I hate most of them. There's not much stuff I really want to do in a contrast paint. A lot of them are too bright or too particular for a lot of the stuff that I find myself wanting to do. Ah, there's a little screw up. We're going to fix it though, and it's going to be fine. Okay. We got a little onto the armor there, but not really that noticeable. Like noticeable up really close, but that's pretty good. Oh, right. Gotta get up in here a little more. Mm-hmm. All right, I gotta do the fingers and then that weapon. Boo, 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 doo, doo, doo. Oh. That is it. Let me know in the comments what you want me to do next. You want me to work on Commander Pons and do that Inquisitor kind of red and black paint scheme on the clone, or you want me to start on Mace Windu? Let me know, because I could go either way right now. Dude. Okay. We gotta do the face. I want this to be more watery. What did I just drop? I just dropped the paint. All right. Normally I just throw a bunch of wash on the stormtroopers' faces, or a stormtrooper or clone troopers' faces, and then try to just deal with whatever. Kind of clean it up as it comes out. Ah, there we go. There's the screw up right there. You see it? Shoot. Can I get that off? I don't think I can get that off, and it's drying, and I'm too slow, and I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. Now it's dried. It's permanent. It's permanent. Oh, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. Oh. Okay. Well, that's still fixable. I was trying to get this vent on the face. Oh, no. There's water on there. Let me just wait. I'm just going to set that one down. I'll come back and finish that one later. All right. Only one little mistake. Still not too bad. I'm still going to call that one a win, since I do think it's fixable. Might take a little extra coating over that one particular spot. But, yeah. Oh, my goodness. So before and after, we'll do kind of like that. Yeah, the black makes that yellow pop way more. So, very cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We're going to put it over here. All right, let's see. Do you have any suggestions? No suggestions. All right, I'm going to go with this guy. I'm going to go with you, my friend. Let's get some red bits. What am I using? I'm using Amaranth Red. It's a Vallejo. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Do I want to do the inside? I think I'll do the inside of the skirt, and then just the rim around it. I think that's kind of how I'll do it. All right. Yeah, I think that'll look pretty good. This is almost like an orange, this Amaranth Red. It's very much like a brick. I don't know what an amaranth is, so I can't really speak to how amaranthian it is, but it's not like a red lightsaber color. It's be a good orange lightsaber color. Anybody watching Ahsoka? Well, let me know what you guys think of that show so far. So far, I'm having a good time with it. It's enjoyable. And I'll probably actually come back and do the same thing on his little spots and hit black up in those as well. Because since he's just only like gray, black bits should show up pretty well. We can do lighter gray for edge highlighting and all of that. So we're kind of trying to do that. Trying to give him that inquisitorious sort of paint job, since I plan on running him with the Inquisitors and Darth Vader. 3-point secondary. Only one in the game right now. We got some more Shatterpoint news and Legion news all coming up at Mini Stravaganza in about 2 weeks. So that's certainly going to be exciting. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We've kind of got our first cut of that. I got to go back and get some of these edges a little bit better. This is way more orange than I was expecting it to be. I might come back over and go over it a little bit more with some red. Or just edge it in red a little bit more. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, or that level for now. That's good enough to at least show the contrast of that against the black. Now we're going to come in here and get these parts. I might not do the same dark black for the cloak itself. I might go with a gray. Even though it's already gray, I'll go with a lighter shade that will stand out, because again, it's hard to do blacks on blacks. It's one of the reasons Vader's very easy to do, as a novice, but he's very hard to do really, really well, because painting black on black and having to get like 4 or 5 different shades of black and have each of them stand out is not a very beginner-friendly task. I always kind of struggle with how I'm going to approach it. But it's still fun to approach. Because either way, it's still going to look, as long as you paint in black, you did the job. He's recognizable as Vader. Is he black? He's Darth Vader. Is his lightsaber red? Okay, he's Darth Vader. Then it's up to you how much detail you want to put into. Like, do you want the eyes to have that crimson glow that's sometimes in there? Do you want to do OSL for the lightsaber on him? Do you want to, put like silvery bits on the pauldrons and stuff like that? Belt buckles, and then all the lights on his chest, which that's not too hard to do usually. But you kind of control how much you want to do with a character like Vader. But since this guy, I'm kind of inventing this color scheme. It's good and it's bad, because like I want it to look good, but at the same time, if it doesn't, I'm like, well, okay, well, there's no judge. Nobody's going to be like, hey, you didn't get this part right. I'm like, well, I invented it. I'm doing it all myself. Well, I didn't invent this, Inquisitor color scheme, but like I'm making my own version, right? So there's no standard that I have to hit other than kind of what I'm imagining. And so that has its upsides, for sure. All right, we're getting that, getting those fingers to like the color, the color of the armor here. That gray came out really good, and it's standing out well against the flat black that I'm going with for everything else. So that much is good. I know I should be using like one of those model holders. I never use those. I always just hold these things. Everybody uses something to hold their models, like a bottle, and they put it on some putty or something like that, or you know, spray can, or sometimes people put them on one of these and hold them. Like, I hold the model in my hands the whole time. And, you know, sometimes I rub some of the paint off when I'm doing it. And sometimes I get paint on my hands, and I don't care. That's what I'm comfortable with. I've tried, like, painting with, like, those Citadel model holders and all kinds of tools to hold a model. And I always feel like I'm holding it on a stick and I'm trying to balance things that are really far away. I hate it. And so I want my fingers to be the only thing that's touching the model. That's just me. That's just me. I mean, it's probably advantageous to go the other way, to learn how to, you know, do that. There's maybe a better level of stability that is attainable in theory, but I don't know. Okay. He's looking good. I'm going to try and get in that visor right now. It's already pretty dark in there. I want this a little wetter. A little. There we go. There we go. I'll just kind of let it. All right. Letting that kind of drip down. I made it nice and wet inside the visor. Sometimes you just have to let it, the watery bits kind of pool down into the recesses. There we go. Yeah. I'm liking it. Some more parts that I'm missing that I gotta get. Like up in here. Mm-hmm. What have you guys been painting lately? Let me know. Tim asks, what has been your favorite Shatterpoint pack so far? That's a tough one. I think this one has, like, there's different ways to approach it. On one hand, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, because it's hello there, and, you know, it's like my thing. And Obi-Wan himself is actually really, really good in this game. On another hand, it's this pack because of this guy right here being a 3-point support. But that's more of a mechanical reason. Like, that's a meta thing. Like, hey, the only 3-point support lets me kind of break the game in some ways, and I can now run, you know, the Inquisitor build that I wanted to run. You know, and that's, I don't like that being a good reason. You know, I don't like that that's my reason for liking this pack. I mean, I like Mace Windu, but I don't like that the fact that this guy is a 3-point support, or a 3-point secondary. I mean, I don't like the fact that that makes this guy overshadow Mace Windu. You know, as far as the models and the model qualities, I do like the You Cannot Run pack for the Vader and the Obi-Wan in there. They're super groovy, but at the same time, they are overcosted, right? It's a $100 pack for 2 models. It's a little bit tough. So there's, you know, there's a whole lot of mixed things, but overall, I think it's this one right here. But maybe the Luminara one too. The Luminara, because you got the clone commandos in there, and you got 2 really cool characters. The Luminara's one is good, but I think the party's over. I think this is probably it, though. I think this probably has to be it, because you have the mechanical reason. This guy's awesome, even though I don't thematically really remember much of Commander Pons. He's still a 3-point secondary, and so that's awesome. Then you've got the awesome stuff as Mace Windu, who's one of the best characters in all of Star Wars, and so you're getting Mace Windu. So we already 2 big wins. You got a mechanically great character whose meta costed points work out really well. You've got this awesome pose for Mace Windu right here. Awesome pose, dude. He's you know. And now, since my yellow on black turned out pretty good, these guys are going to be really fun to run. So yeah, I'm going to go with this one. That's going to be my answer for today. We'll see. We'll see how well that pulls out in the long run, but that's kind of sort of what I'm going with. I'm going to try and put a little black under some of these areas here. Taking a few risks with this guy. right here. We'll see how well this works. I'm having fun though. Having a good time with it today. And not too worried if it doesn't come out as well, because he's a 3-point secondary. He's a 3-point secondary. He can wear whatever he wants. He can look however he wants today. It's his birthday. All right. I think that's all or just about all the little recessed bits that I might need to do. I guess there's a little spot right there. Let me get that. It's hard trying to find the black on black that I missed. But yeah. All right. I want to put a little bit of that in here. I'm going to really wet that up, though. A little bit more in here. All of that. That didn't get much contrast paint. The black there in the back. Okay. So now I've got to do the skirt for him. That's going to be interesting. So we're going to find dark gray. Vallejo dark gray, and we'll see how this comes out. I'm going to use a little bit of water, get this nice and wet. Make these coats real thin. What does Dustin Rhodes say always? 2 thin coats, right? Okay. Just trying it out. It is very, very similar to the gray that's already on here, but because it's not a contrast paint, it's going to be a more smoother application of this gray. I think it's going to do its job well. We'll see, though. It might not. Might not look all that good once it's done. But I think it seems like it's going to be okay. You see that? Yeah, that might work. That might be just what the doctor ordered. Or just what the medical droid ordered. Do they even have any doctors in Star Wars, or are they all droids? Like, you never really see, like, well, I guess, no, you did in episode 7, right? Like, in Chewbacca got that little nurse to kind of be condescending to him in the med lab. Maybe that's why they want droids. Droids don't talk back. But some droids do talk back. I don't know. Whoa, bumping things. Sorry about that. Bumped my camera. Oh, so there we are. For that part, I got to do the other half. And then Pons is going to be close to done. I'm going to let him dry. I'll have to come back and do the gun. But then I can just find some, if I want to put some chrome on some of these patches or you know, little belt ammo pouches. I can do some chrome on there if I want. I can do all kinds of stuff like that. And I'll do a little bit on Mace Windu. A little bit on the Maester. The Maester. Who's ever called him that? I wouldn't call him that to his face. I'd call him Master Windu. But Mace doesn't want to be friends with too many people. He's not like hanging out and being like, all right, dude, let's play some Shatterpoint in our free time. Come on, let's go to the gaming store. Mace Windu says. I don't think so. Oh yeah. We are getting there. If you're just joining us, we are doing some Star Wars Shatterpoint painting painting some of the stuff in the This Party's Over pack. Sorry, I missed some chat. Amit says, "What do you think of the Ahsoka series so far?" I'm enjoying it, man. It's pretty cool. And the Glorious Sweat Ward says, "Sup, Crabbok? Love the Armada summaries." You absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback. I have fun making them. I love Armada and I love talking about it. I love talking about lots of these games. And they're fun games. I was just thinking the other day about the golden age of X-Wing. I don't know how many people watching here have played X-Wing. And how long have you been playing? What was your favorite times playing that game? What are some of your favorite memories from playing X-Wing? Because I think the golden age of Star Wars X-Wing was after the fourth wave. You had just had this really cool wave come out, 2 new ships per faction, and then you also had huge ships were getting ready to launch, and but there wasn't too much stuff. It was like before the Jump Masters came out and were kind of broken, you know. Pretty cool. Read Death Troopers if you want to know about the doctors in Star Wars. It's seen that as a dirty profession in the Imperial era. Oh yeah, that was one of those books I never got to. That was it's an interesting one too. Apparently, there was a lot of experimentation and stuff done. Did I read that book? I don't think I read that book. I read a lot of the Star Wars books though, until they got to the High Republic. And I read a couple of the High Republic books, really liked it, and then at one point I was just like, I'm done. I can't do any more. And I had to take a break. So I've kind of been on a little bit of a hiatus from Star Wars books right now. All right, so that's where we're going to stop on him for right now. We can come back and do weapons. So here's our progress so far. We got Commander Pons, and we've got one of the ARF troopers done. And yeah, they're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how they're turning out so far. Beautiful stuff. Let's move to the Maester, Mr. Mace Windu. I want to get some shades of tan and brown and some white to be able to lighten up some of those. And of course purple, but well, that's easy. That's the last step. I always save the lightsaber for the last. And I just put my finger in my paint because I am a klutz from time to time. Yeah, I just stuck my finger right in the paint. Okay, we're going to, I think I'm going to mix this orange brown with some white. That's going to do that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of chocolate brown here. Okay. Now, painting Mace's flesh is going to be more of a chocolate brown, but I want to start off with some of the lighter, and then I'll work the chocolate brown in. So we're going to start off like that, and then I'll come back and hit a thinner coat of the chocolate brown so that we leave some variation on the colors there. Because I want the lighting and everything to hit it. And Actually, so that actually looks pretty good to start. It's a real good start for him. And oh, he's got gloves on, doesn't he? Yeah, he's got gloves on. So I think this is the only part that I really have to get with his flesh. I'm gonna let this dry before I come back with anything else. Okay. And bumping things, we gotta get down into the corners of the V, just like that. Okay. I'm gonna angle my camera a little bit better since I bumped it a little bit. There we go. All right. Perfect. Now I need some white because I need to thin out. Oh no, is my white all gone? I might be out of white. It's tough when I'm squeezing on these bottles. Sometimes it doesn't want to come out. I have to be careful because if you squeeze too hard, it explodes. Oh no, there's plenty of white in there. Good. I just had to go and pop it through with the thumbtack. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to mix those two. And we'll put some water in there and get it a little thin. All right. See how well this works, because I can always go back over this with an Agrax Earthshade wash, which actually will probably be perfect. Oh, and I think according to the picture here, like his arm should be the same as the tabard, and I just leave the legs and the undershirt white. So I'll try that. We got another comments here. Storm Rain says, enjoy your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Scott says, how do you think the Bad Batch will work? Would they be a special forces? Oh, man. Well, they haven't confirmed Bad Batch for Shatterpoint yet, so I'm assuming since you mentioned special forces, you are talking about Legion. Yeah, man, I think they could do a lot of things with them. I hope it's a really robust pack. I hope they are treated as a special forces. Maybe they'll consume more than one special forces rank. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't be able to run two other special forces and the Bad Batch. Maybe it's just like maybe it's something like that. But I hope I hope they just make them really fun. Like I hope they let you put all of them in there, and the more of them you add to the unit, the more cool stuff you get. Like if you want, maybe you can run the Bad Batch with like Hunter and Wrecker and Tech, and that's it, right? Or maybe you can run all of them or something like that. And the more you add, the more the points go up, and the more fun they become. But I also hope that they give them this like a really cool thing to include with them would be give them individual cards so you can run like Wrecker or something like that in an ARC Troopers unit or something like that, or let us run them individually like as standalones, as individual dudes. Like I'd like to be able to do that. I think that'd be groovy. Do I want? I think that this one needs it too. All right, I'm gonna go right there with that, and let the bits below that be white. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're getting some work done here. We're getting some work done. I'm trying to be super precise. That's all why I'm using more of a narrow brush. A lot of times I'll just do the first coat into something a thicker brush and not care if I mix it or miss at all. But because parts of this are going to be white, I don't want to have, I don't want that white to have the, tan splotches underneath. So I'm trying to be a little precise. It's good practice, I guess. That's how it goes. But we've also got white on the plate, the plastoid stuff, and so we got a lot of places I'd like to preserve without putting extra paint down where it doesn't need to be. So there's that. There he goes. And I don't know if I'll have time to get to it on the stream, but the step, once I get all of this done, the last step will be to take this Agrax Earthshade and put that over the top of this, and that'll make that'll bring the whole cloak to life, really. I mean, there may be another. I may go back and do some edge highlighting on some of this stuff too. I mean, there's lots of other steps that you can do to make the cloth layers really come alive. But the next step, or at least one of the next steps, is to get that wash in there. It's definitely a fun way to do it. Because I could also take some darker brown and put it on parts of this, and then do wet blending. You know, I might even do a little bit of that. It might be fun if I want to make it really wet. Since this is all wet right here, I can put some darker browns here and then start pulling it up, and you know, give the cloth a little bit of a gradient, make it look you know, dirtier at the bottom, which is going to be like, hey, if he's wearing this into battle, it's going to get dirty. He's sleeping in the same, you know, the same clothes every night. It's gonna get dirty for sure. All right. Should be using a thicker brush for this back part, but that's okay. Well, we're having fun with this. Almost done with this part. And yeah, so okay. Probably not going to be going too much longer. If you got any questions or whatever, this is your chance. Delta 7 says, "Can you do more Shatterpoint content, please?" I mean, what am I doing right now, brother? What am I doing right now? Yes, in short, yes. I have more Shatterpoint content planned, for sure. If you want to see more Shatterpoint content, you got to tune in for it and search for it too, because it's still a new game. It's not reaching as many people as the other games. They've been out for a long time. So like my Shatterpoint videos don't get nearly as many views as the other videos do. And the more views they get, that's going to also be another push for me to do more content as well. It's just the way it works. But yes, I definitely will be doing. I still have a Witches of Dathomir unboxed. I haven't done that yet. Okay. I think that's about it for that part. We can throw a little. Oh, you know what I can do? Before I get too far ahead, we can throw a little red in here. In the gauntlet. This is that orangey red, but I think it'll work. There we go. I wanted it as watery as possible. Just let it, you know, just a little drop in there. Let it seep into the cracks. Let that do the work. And his boots are more brown. So for the boots, I'm going to go with more of a brown. All right. I'm using a bigger brush this time since I don't have any white pieces, and I can get it all over the base. I don't care. There we go. There we go. So speaking of Shatterpoint content, I have a friend of mine making some terrain that's going to be going to Kickstarter soon that I think will work really well with Shatterpoint as well as other games. And I'm going to be talking about that pretty soon once it's ready to be talked about, because I'd like to be able to do. One of the problems I have with Shatterpoint is that every game is on the same terrain. There's no diversity of terrain with Shatterpoint. I mean, not every game, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so like Legion was a lot more terrain was important. Has always been important for Legion, especially when it launched. But Legion was a lot more. How do I want to put this? Had a diversity of terrain because it just had these more generic terrain rules, and now Shatterpoint has a lot more specific terrain rules, and like really needs those gantries, and like if you, gosh, I can't even imagine what it'd be like to try and play. This needs to be wetter without those. I'm going here. Make that a little. See, I'm putting the brown on real wet, so I want it to work into the crevices here, almost like a wash. And hold on, I need to dry off my brush a little. Gotta soak some of that up. There we go. Okay, there we go. Ah, beautiful. I don't even have any purple out here. I wasn't going to do the lightsaber today. But you know what? I'll mix a little bit of blue in with my red. Maybe we'll do get a little practice purple. Let's see what we can get. Wow, that does not look purple at all. I just mixed blue and my red together and got green. So I need to add, I'm going to add a regular flat red to this. And see if I can get a better color. Oh boy. I'm still trying to get some red out of this pod. There we go. Got some. All right. Mixing some better red with that. There we go. Ooh, yeah, now we're getting purple, but it's too. All right, well, I can always come back and go over this again. Now I just home mixed this. Well, that is a black, that's a bloody purple. That's a really dark purple. I want it lighter than that. It's a little white to it. A little white. That's better. There we go. Boom. See, this is why I don't usually like it when people ask me what colors I use. I make my own on the spot sometimes. But sometimes I use specific colors. But not always. I just knocked off 2 more paints. It's okay. They were closed. I hope. Otherwise, I'm gonna have paint all over the floor. There we go. We got a starter on for that. I'll go over it a couple more times with some whites and some wet blending and trying to get the lightsaber glow to fade a little bit more. But yeah, that is gonna do it for today, folks. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for hanging out today. We had our Commander Pons in his Inquisitor sort of armor. We had an ARF Trooper in his Killer Bees clone armor. And we got started on Mace Windu. So it's been fun. It doesn't have to take all day to paint these things. You can get them done quick or slow or however you feel comfortable. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. And may the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Let's see. Storm Rain, do you think we'll ever get Super Commandos or Commandos in Legion? I sure as heck hope so. Hopefully they'll be revealed in a few weeks at Mini Stravaganza. Definitely hoping for that. Let's see. Scott the Wolf Gamer, if you paint eyes, what's your best advice for going about it? Easy. Get some white. Boom. Do it like blah. Right? Blah. Like that. Then get your other color. Right? That you're going to do the pupil with. Like black. And then go blah. And go like that. Right? Then I painted my eyes. And then get your flesh tone again. Right? Whatever color you're using for a flesh tone. I can't believe I'm just decided to paint on my hand. And then get your flesh tone and then go around. Once this is all dried, right? You get your flesh tone and you go around and then boom. And then you do it. Now I didn't have to even paint that eye. I just painted around that eye. Oh my God, it's the eye on the hand. I see you. Oh, that actually looks pretty cool. All right, that's gonna do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And let's see. Hackermet says, do you think that Sabine being... Well, I don't want to talk about any spoilers right now, but I don't think anything's stupid. And did you miss the whole stream? No, man, you caught the end of it. So you didn't miss the whole thing, but you can go back and watch again. And, have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. The spice must flow. Always wash your socks and have a